I see women and girls underestimate their strength for all sorts of reasons. But the moment that they do discover that they could do that, it is next level. Who she is in relationships is different because you can't mess with me. I know my strength. The person who she is in the workplace is different. The person who she is as a mother is different. The person who she is as a friend is different. Simply because she knows her strength.
I would hope that my impact on women will be that they would know that they're not alone, that Christ is with them, that they feel empowered to carry out the calling that God has on their life, and that they feel beautiful in themselves by what they may wear, by what they may do, that they feel like fearfully and wonderfully made.
Hello guys, welcome to Everyday Echoes, and I have two amazing guests with me, Rachel and Catherine, and we'll just be talking about what it means to be a woman. A lot of us don't understand, being a man, like a lot of things women face, and they'll just be enlightening us, and this is like a moment for us on Everyday Echoes to also celebrate every woman out there. So thank you for your service, guys. So Rachel, the first question is going, why are you laughing?
Thank you for your service.
All right, the first question goes to you, Rachel.
Yes.
And is, growing up, what messages did you receive about what it means to be a woman?
This is a really good question. And I so growing up is a little bit loaded. I grew up partly in Nigeria and also in the UK. And they're very, very different cultures. As a kid, I don't think that there weren't really any conversations around being a woman. One, because I was quite young. We didn't move to the UK until I was 10. So at that age, no one's really talking to me about being, you just be a kid. But even in society, there wasn't really a lot of focus around gender roles or gender stereotypes, because a lot of it was just part of the culture and part of tradition. Women stayed at home, they cooked, they looked after the children. They did a lot of the nurturing, a lot of the feeding, a lot of the providing. And the men went out and worked, or they went out and farmed, or they went out and hunted, that kind of thing. And so it was kind of like that in my family. My dad was the one who, he went out. My mom was also, she worked as well. With, I guess, kind of maybe a bit more unique to my family. My mom was pretty active with her working roles. And for a while she was the breadwinner in our family, which caused a lot of issues because that's not culturally normal. So I saw that. I saw my mum being hardworking. I saw that she had an education. My dad was very big on us having an education, so there wasn't any kind of those kind of patriarchal ideas around women, being uneducated and anything like that. So didn't have that. And I'm also the youngest of 4 girls. So I have older sisters who they would show me what being a woman is. And I think I learned that pretty well. Coming here,
I guess it was like a lot of cultural shifts to you.
There were a lot of cultural shifts. I think, and then because of the timing of when I came here, I was going through puberty when I was here, and all of that was really like destabilizing. I think that I really struggled with my identity because I couldn't really quite figure out who I was. Am I Nigerian, or am I trying to be British? And if I'm trying to be British, is that being false? So within all of that, my gender was kind of bottom of the list. Like it didn't really come up for me as an issue at all. I was more about just trying to find a way to fit in. The things that I had the most challenges with was the colour of my skin, not my gender. The gender bit came a little bit later on. But I'm sure we'll get into that. What about you, Catherine?
So as I mentioned earlier, I'm from Ireland. I'm the eldest of 7 children, and growing up, because I'm the eldest, I didn't really have any older sisters to look up to, but I had wonderful cousins, wonderful aunties, and you mentioned about some people want to working, staying home and working again. And I've seen various women within my family context, stay at home, and also those who've worked in the civil service in various jobs, different companies. So it was not really one kind of rigid role. It was more so I seen women who were confident in different areas, and they loved me very well, and they always created a safe place for me as a child growing up. And as I entered my teenage years, if I had some maybe friction with one period, it was nice to have aunties, uncles, you could hang out with or visit. And I think I seen the value having maybe an extended family and extended women in that family, because we shouldn't really pigeonhole women to one particular thing. I'm grateful for the women that I learned from, and obviously my mom as well, who is still with us. She's great, and I know some people might not have a mom who is here on earth, and I think that's obviously difficult. And my mom was she's a great role model for me and still is, and none of us are perfect either, so I think there's no one really we can say it's perfect that for us as women, this is epitome cut this out, but what's the word? Epitome of only Jesus is perfect, but so I'm very grateful for that. So hopefully that answers.
Yeah, that's great, guys. The next question, just picking up from where Rachel stopped. Rachel, you mentioned about moving abroad, trying to find your identity, talking about the color of your skin, and also finding who you are as a person. So how are you able to evolve from that point into settling in? Because I know it could have taken time, but telling you to explain that could take us all day. But how did you evolve from fighting to find who you are to actually finding who you are as a person?
Yeah,
that's a big breath.
Okay, so the pillars in my life that without those being constant, I wouldn't have had the space to really do the learnings to discover who I was. So one of those is my family, just their unconditional love and support. It was absolutely imperative for me. And also my faith. Being a Christian, reading the Bible, being part of a church community, it was the anchor that I needed. It gave me the direction to ask my questions. It helped me to find home, find belonging, to feel loved in a different way. Families are full of the issues, and no one's perfect, like you said. But I know that my family does love me, and that is, different to how God loves me. And I think that growing in my understanding of who God is, and just how much He loved me, that really shaped my identity, because it helped me to accept the things about myself that were because they were, and the things about myself that I needed to change. And being close to God meant that He was doing a transforming work in me. And so, the things that I would struggle with in my life, whether that's insecurity, anxiety, I had, really quite severe difficulties as a teenager and a kid, being really shy, and almost the extreme end of being introverted. There were periods where I just wouldn't speak to anyone, and I just, looking back now, I can clearly see that I was just really, really anxious kid. But I came alive through sport, and I knew that my passion for sport was a gift from God. And then I came alive in my church communities, the youth group, because we played games and we had fun, and then I came alive through worship, because there's something about connecting to God through song and music that just it brought me closer to Him, but it also helped me to understand myself in a deeper way. So throughout all of those, and having older sisters is like the greatest gift ever. I just feel really so blessed to be the youngest, because I'm absolutely spoiled rotten, spoiled to the core. They've looked after me my whole life, but they've been through things that I haven't, and I've had the people to ask certain questions to. I've had the people to learn from their mistakes. So there's a lot of, trying to find your identity by trying things. I didn't really try a lot of stuff because I saw my sisters try it. I could see the consequences of them trying it, and I made a very, executive decision. I want that, so I'm not gonna try it. I already know, living vicariously through you, I know what that's like. So
my sisters have learned from me. From my mistakes.
There you go. And then kind of later on, really getting to know my parents really helped to shape my understanding of my identity. It's so important to know where you come from, not just like biologically, but also spiritually, understanding where you come from, and understanding how certain decisions that your parents made, certain things that happened within your family affected you, and just tracing those things back.
Yes, generationally.
Those are really important as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's like a prime time talk. Like we're getting really deep now. So like, Catherine, So Catherine, to you, how has your identity evolved over time, or how did you find yourself like being the woman you are today?
How did I find myself? Wow. What a deep question.
Sorry, you didn't go missing, but
how did I find myself? I always knew myself. No, by God's grace, I think I have had parents who instilled some routine of good values in me. Like I said earlier, no one's perfect, but I had parents that were present, and I think that saved me from a lot, in a sense that I always had someone to count on. Growing up as a child, and mum was there for me when I came home from school, and also from secondary school, and having my mum at home and my dad there as well, and being able to ask questions to my dad, and my dad always, even after a night out, being able to collect me and protect me. I was protected a lot, and I thank God for that. That's a real blessing. So when people say, oh, did you find yourself? Like, no, like I appreciate the prayers and the protection that was passed on to me and by my parents, by my extended family as well. I've been really blessed that me and my cousins are close. We used to go to granny's every Sunday after church or whatever. We'd catch up with each other, and creating that bond with my extended family. And these people have spoken into my life and have been very generous to me, aunties and uncles, as I've grown throughout life, as I've overcome struggles in college with studies or with other things that can come your way. And through the prayers of those people, and also through the generosity of time and efforts, I think that's where it has led me here today. And also the passing on of faith. I was raised in my faith and had that encounter at 18 with God, and the women that I met in college really shaped me as well, the friendships, and I found myself through God and through his love displayed through other people, that has really poured into me where I am now. So like, no man is an island. I'm not here saying, you know, I'm Miss Independent Boss Babe, like I just got to where I am, not where I am, but you know, happy and at peace where I am. That was because people, you know, my parents invested in me, my parents protected me, and my friends were good to me, and I thank God for these graces. And as I said earlier, to, you know, who much is given, much is required, and to be able to pour that into other people, and I think never underestimate the power of community and family ties. And like you said earlier about generationally looking at that, like looking at what has gone before, you know, what have we learned from great grandparents, parents, what maybe mom wasn't able to do, I'm able to do, and or she might have had the confidence for, I have the confidence for, things like that as women that we can say actually pass the torch on, you know, and be grateful for it as well, you know, that you're able to take the torch, if that makes sense, like you're able to take what is being passed on knowledge wise. Yeah. I know I'm yapping a lot now.
No, you know, yapping, it's like, it's good, it's like really good. So guys, I feel like we've gone very deep. So I want to spice up a bit. We're going to play a game with both of you.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to like ask you a question and you finish it up. Okay. So it's like, for example, being a woman has taught me to dash.
Okay.
Then those are like kind of questions. Strength looks like carrying a 500-pound weight.
Okay.
So whatever, like so we just go. So okay. 1, 2, 3, go. So now the first question is, my younger self needed to hear
that she's good enough.
Oh, that's great. My younger self needed to hear
that people can't give you what they don't have.
That's true, guys. You guys are getting deeper.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, that's good.
Truth.
So I feel most myself when
I'm in the gym.
Oh.
Just gonna say when I'm eating.
That's what we got made for.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn. Iron sharpens iron here. So
That's good, guys.
I mean, I gotta eat too.
Yeah.
Fate has shown me to be.
Faith has shown me to be.
Yeah, like what has fate shown you to be?
Courageous.
Long-standing, like forever.
Yeah, like faith. Yeah.
Great. The biggest lie I had to unlearn was 5 seconds, guys.
No,
you have to be on this.
You can't. The biggest lie I had to unlearn.
Yeah, is what? Guys.
But the grass is greener on the other side.
Oh, deep. It's like, oh.
Biggest lie I had to unlearn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, lads, I'm gonna need extra time. I think it's fine. I've had to unlearn.
You just speak one thing. Doesn't have to be best.
Yeah, it's trying to find
like
that
a
thing.
lie. Yeah, I'm trying to find the lie. What was the lie that I was believing? The biggest lie I had to, you don't have to fix everything.
Oh yeah, true. I also learned that too. All right. Womanhood means.
Womanhood means. Bro.
It's like you're writing an exam. Take it seriously.
Womanhood.
Yeah, it means what to you? Okay, what would you say? For me, when I see a woman, I see strength and I see courage.
Yes, I see a warrior.
Yeah, so what do you see when you see a woman?
An essential part to humanity.
Good.
I see a warrior.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
A warrior.
A warrior.
You say that.
Warrior.
Yeah, sorry guys. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
yeah, that's great. So back to our questions, guys. That was just to like, okay. So like Rachel, you spoke about sports helping you navigate the seasons of your like finding your identity and stuff. Yep. So what would you say you're called to do as a person? What's your purpose? and like I know you use sports a lot, and you're like studying sports itself, so you're a walking sports machine. So I was like, well, you don't have to say how it came to be, but like how has that been, like the journey, like just growing in that purpose?
I spent a long time trying to figure out what my purpose was, and I'm not sure I have a clear answer to that.
Yeah.
I think I settled with the Lord that I was just gonna pursue His heart, which in turn would be me pursuing my heart, and then we'll see where we land. If you look at my life, you will see that I'm heading in a particular direction.
Yeah.
I've been involved in sports my whole life. I'm really passionate about fitness and exercise and getting people active from a practical point of view, like coaching, but also now from a kind of research side, which is, I guess, a little bit akin to medical. I'm kind of narrowing my focus more towards females, so girls and women, and dealing with some of the issues that girls and women have when it comes to being physically active, in hopes that we can tackle some of the main issues that are plaguing women. So from women in general, some of the gynecological issues that exist that can maybe be addressed through definitely changes in lifestyle, but maybe perhaps through exercise. And then, there's a part of my life that really wants to focus on Black and ethnic minority women, because the disparities are even more outrageous when we look at those subgroups. So my purpose is to pursue that.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is going to look like. I'm just taking it one step at a time, start with this PhD, and then we'll see what happens after that.
I will say you're like doing great. It's like kind of really good. I feel like what a man can do, a woman can do better. So I was it like sport is mainly to men.
Yeah.
How is it like? How were you able to like get that out of your mind, and people telling you can't, you shouldn't, it's not for you? How did you like sort that out of your mind? In case someone is just struggling that wants to go into sports and they feel like, oh, this is not for me too.
Yeah. I think when I was younger, things were a lot different. It's a lot easier now. We have a lot more access to sport. There are a lot more women being engaged in exercise and sport as a whole. There's a lot more funding and attention towards females in sport. So if you're trying to get into sport right now, you're in the best place. You should have no issues. We struggled because there was very little of that in the media. Our access to information about women in sport was limited, and the gyms were just full of men. And I low-key wanted to be I say I'm glad to be a girl, but I was a tomboy. I love being feminine, but I also love being masculine. I loved strength. I loved being sporty, and I wasn't really into the girly kind of doing your hair, painting nails kind of thing. Like that was just not me.
You don't still paint your nails?
No, I don't paint. I wear makeup. I'm leaning to my feminine side. It's there.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Yeah, but when I was growing up in Nigeria, I used to hang out with boys. We used to go out and play. I was playing with the boys. I wasn't really that much interested in what the girls were doing, every now and again. But we used to, whatever the boys were doing, that's what I was doing. Riding bikes, playing football, that's it. And most of my really kind of core kind of friends around playtime were boys. So I felt like I was one of the boys, and I felt like whenever I faced anything that said you can't because you're a girl, I'm like, yeah, but I'm not just any girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just followed that, I wasn't interested in the kind of fitness that girls were doing when I was, in my early 20s. Pilates, whatever it is, yoga.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit weights. I wanted to be fast. I wanted to be athletic. And if that meant I looked like a man, I honestly didn't care. I walked in, and listen. I just, yeah. So my advice would be, and I really want people to engage with this question. If you want to get into sport, you want to get into fitness, and you're female, just go for it. There is a lot of space for us. Sport has been designed by men, and some of the scaffolding that holds it in place is male orientated, but there are a lot of women who are changing that. And things are shifting, and it's becoming more and more accessible for women. So if you're interested at all, just start looking around and go for it, because there's definitely stuff available.
That's great. Now to you, Catherine.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what would you say, like, at this point of your life,
Yeah.
you're currently working on, fighting for? I know, like, some things, but, like, I would like you to just say your story in your own ways.
Yeah, so I'm currently a presenter, researcher for a children's charity, the Society for the Protection of Unborn Children. And yeah, I fight for life, protection of unborn babies, and also from to natural death as well, against euthanasia. And so yeah, I think my purpose right now is to just show people the beauty of life, beauty of unborn life. And also I'm studying as well on the weekends with the British Academy of Fashion Design, and that's the purpose there is to bring out the beauty in others, for the women that I meet, to design beautiful items for them. And yeah, I've just on my journey, it's nearly been 5 years now, I have seen a lot. I've come across a lot of people who've just had a lot of hurt, and God has just asked me to speak up for those who have no voice and those who've been hurt in the process. So I'm doing it in a deep and also creative way as well, from studio to fashion. So
That's a good balance.
yeah, it's a balance. We need I think you need the balance really, but the hard stuff and then the light-hearted stuff.
Yeah.
Fashion,
Yeah, so like, how's that been? You like fighting for life, trying to like do what you do. The journey, I know it's not been like rosy. It's like there'll be like a lot of tough times. You're fighting through for what you truly believe. So what keeps you going?
I think that what keeps me going is the fact that life is valuable, and it is a privilege to be able to do this job. Because I have the gift of life, I have a voice, and God has asked us to use our voice for the voiceless, and we can say the truth in love. We don't have to ram it down anyone's throat, and it hasn't been always easy. I've come up against a lot of those who maybe are quite angry and quite hurt, and then you might meet those who are also extreme, who want to threaten me or whatever. But God is my protector, and I understand that hurt people, so I don't take it personally. And I think when you're on the right path, you will have resistance, and it's up. God has called us to righteousness, and if we want revival in this land and in Scotland, well, we have to walk the narrow path, and we have to be able to help those who need the help. And I've been grateful for mentors on my journey. It's not, again, like I said earlier, it's not just something I got out of thin air. It was fully by God's grace I've been led into this role, and how it was like prophesied and everything. It was not necessarily my plan, but God had showed me that the fruit of the womb is a reward and children are a gift. And it's just about sharing that message that life is a gift, children are a gift, and it hurts women what's happening. And I've also spoken to many women who would openly say that they've been damaged as a result of abortion, and so if anyone is looking for resources, just let me know. And that's what kind of how I got involved, kind of lightly. It's not I don't want to unpack too much, maybe I mightn't have time, but yeah, that's
good. So like, both of you spoke about like mentors. I think I've heard your story before. One time you say you're praying, it was a share you were given, you're like, you're praying for a mentor and stuff like that. So how has mentorship helped both of you? So whoever wants to go first, like.
I've only just found a mentor.
Oh.
And I think I've been searching for one my entire life. Granted, I've done, a few different things. When I was doing my master's degree, I needed a mentor, couldn't find one. And then I had a kind of life shift. I ended up working for church, working in ministry, needed a mentor then, couldn't find one. Just, I guess, a timing thing. Maybe people were there that could have been but just weren't available, or it just wasn't right for whatever reason. And then I left that, was trying to figure out what to do next, still within sports ministry, looking for a mentor within sports ministry, couldn't find one. And then, coming on to PhD, and I was assigned someone, and it wasn't a good fit. And then eventually I found someone that's perfect. But so throughout all of that time, I've always known the value of mentorship, and I knew from very early on that I wanted to be someone who learned from others. I did that really well, and I just wanted to sit at someone's feet, someone who had been through life, and just listen to them, talk. Let them tell me about their story, let them tell me about their journey. I just wanted to learn. I wanted to know how to guide and live my life the right way. So because I didn't have anyone, like that present in my life, I found mentorship in lots of different places. I found mentorship in men, in books. I found mentorship in, podcasts. I found mentorship in going to conferences and listening to people talk. I sought mentorship out amongst people. I even got mentorship from people who didn't intend to mentor me, but I just, I was so hungry to glean from others that I just kind of made it work. But now I'm in the point of my life where I'm just like, no, like I really need to have someone giving me input, someone who has a better perspective of, what I'm looking for in terms of like my career, that can really advise me, because I'm going in blind. Like I don't know. I'm in a very niche area of sports science. Sports science is quite, small anyway, and quite limited in terms of job prospects. Like I needed someone who could give me wisdom, and so I cried out to God, man. I was like, this one, I need this one. Like the other, I've been able to figure it out like all my life, but like I need someone to really show up for me. And he did, and she's just absolutely the perfect mentor I have. I'm just gonna name drop a little bit because So Lucy Sanga is I say it like a Nigerian name, but she's not Nigerian. She's very British. But she is the head of women's sport in the Department of Sport, in the Department of Culture, Media and Sport at Westminster. So
wow,
she's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
She's my mentor.
Well, that's great. Yeah, so Catherine, so as like mentorship, like played a vital role for you growing up and being the woman you are today.
Yeah, definitely. I think having older, wiser women in my life has proved very valuable, and I don't take it for granted. And they have lived through interesting scenarios that they can provide feedback on. They can provide encouragement, and just have been a real source of goodness in my life. Their goodness has carried me in a way. And shout out to Teresa if you're watching this, Anne as well, Edinburgh, and just really women who've been such a joy in my life. And I think I wasn't always the one to be looking for it, and I think kind of life kind of pushed me to the edge nearly in a way that I was like, right, I can't actually handle this myself. I need other eyes on these projects, on these things. And I think learning to ask for help was a big one for me. And showing up on time then when I did ask for the help, because these people who you are asking for help from, they're busy, like they have lives of their own. And I think having that kind of mutual respect, like how can I serve them, how can I help them in a way as well and be there for them, but also get poured into that I don't make a mess of my own life. And God has been really good to me. He's connected them through random maybe worship events, or even just in a queue at a conference, and now I'm asking these ladies for advice. Or in Brussels, I met another gorgeous woman, Branka, as well, who was a phenomenal, powerful lady, and she's been just insurmountable in my life. So I'm really blessed with godly women who can provide that insight. Because what's that scripture says, in a multitude of counselors there is wisdom.
Yeah.
And obviously God is the epitome of wisdom, but like asking people for their insight maybe and things, they're really good. I find having mentors really good because they ask me questions I wouldn't have considered asking for myself. And even if I am a little bit irritated, that question was a bit deep, but really I needed that question when I sat with God and prayed about it. And so I'm grateful for these types of women in my life from different backgrounds.
That's great. So I'll also just move on to the next question, guys. How do you guys navigate comparison? What does resilience look like for you when things don't go as planned? So it's like two questions in one. So how do you like navigate comparison, and what does resilience look for you? Look like for you when things don't go as planned.
Navigating comparison. So I had a teacher in high school who was my role model. She was a PE teacher and an incredible woman. And she taught me the value of being unique. And she taught me that at a point where I was really struggling with being the odd one out. I'm like one of, 3 people in the whole school that are black girls. And I had my personality issues, so I really stuck out like a sore thumb. But she made me understand that being unique was the most incredible and valuable thing. So I leaned into that. So now, when I compare myself, I probably do it more from a competitive standpoint because of my competitive nature. I'm not comparing myself to like weighing up how I am or who I am against someone else. I'm like, what have they got that I don't have, and how can I get it? If it's something valuable and I want it and I see it, that's what I compare to. I compare, I might compare, or I'll look at someone's physique, and they might have, better quad definition, and I'm like, compared to mine, listen, she's like, she's in a different league, and I might want that, right? So I'll admire that, and I'll do the work to get that, because that's something I want. So and the thing is, because I've grown up with, accepting my own uniqueness, I see that in other people, because I can't believe that, or believe in the belief that I am unique and not see that in other people.
Yes.
Because that is what, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not unique by myself.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm unique, then so is everyone else. And I think that when you compare yourself to someone else, you reduce the value of both people, because then you're not seeing the things that are different that make people incredible. And what happens when things go wrong, and how do I stay resilient, or is that tenacious?
You can just think about it.
I can. Yes, let me think about it.
Yeah, we'll jump to Catherine.
So a comparison one. Interestingly enough, I find what's been really healing on my journey is to celebrate others. I find like celebrating others and blessing others when they have their blessing or whatever they may receive that I want. I find that's actually quite healing. And don't get me wrong, I think there's times where, I think it's in Luke, where the prodigal son returns and everyone's focusing on the prodigal son, and I see sometimes myself in the older brother. Like, I'm like, God, I've been doing this so long the right way. I ain't been seen here, but yet this person has only come to know you, I'm just being real here, like, and you know, and I've had to really, like, I'd say, surrender that to God, and say, look, and then maybe my prayers have become more specific, and the Lord has shown up in that. But yeah, I think that for me, that's what's been quite healing, and maybe might help someone, is to actually celebrate others, and that can really be like a comparison, and cry out to God with that, and be raw with it. I think the longer you are waiting for something or breakthrough, it can really steep in. And I think the second part of your question was on resiliency. Yes, when things go wrong. So yeah, and I've had a lot of hard knocks, like anyone, I'm sure, and I always say to myself, you know, it won't always be like this. It's that phrase that comes to me, like, it won't always be like this. No matter how hard it is, it won't always be like this. And yeah, just speaking the word of God out, like out loud, and being real with my friends. You know, I think that's where we have to learn. Maybe, you know, we can't carry this alone, and asking my friends for a prayer, even if I have to cry in a voice note. Done that. And you know, they're probably backing to cover me, and the same with mentors. And I think that's where we see the power of community in action, that we're not we don't have to carry this cross alone. Whatever hard moment in your life happens, that to know that God is with you, not alone, that please God, you'll have community or someone around you that can help you carry the cross, and know, I think that's the best thing I've ever been told, like, is that it won't always be like this.
Yeah.
You know, and in my hard moments, I speak it out, like I just speak it out. I'm sure my neighbours have heard me say it on the street when I'm walking back from, like, I don't know, Sainsbury's or Waitrose, but I'm really just like, Lord, why is that happening? And then I have to take myself to put myself together and be like, no, it won't always be like this. And you know, worship, that's all you can do. Worship is your warfare at this stage. So yeah, that's how I kind of beat the blues.
Man, I remember when I was like in my early 20s, living in London and working for a local church, and there must have been some kind of, I don't know, an activity. Anyway, we were given these like slinkies, and they're like shaped in a man, but they're like so super stretchy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, I guess the message was trying to think about, you know, tenacity and being, you know, stretchy within circumstances of life. I think in the hardest and the lowest points of my life, where things have been really bad, it's my, in essence, it's my faith that has helped me get through that. Because, I mean, a little bit similar to what you said, no matter what happens in this life, I know that my eternity is secure. So like,
yeah, we're eternal.
Like for real, like the worst that can happen is that I die. That is the actual worst thing that can happen, that I die. And I have addressed the issue of death in my life, and I'm so okay with it, because I know exactly where I'm gonna go after I die. Like, my eternity is secure. So when things are really hard, I think that I have hope in that no matter how hard they get, like, I'm thinking, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is that I die. Like, literally, that's it. And if that happens, then cool. That's now I'm done in this life, and then I go and be with Jesus.
You're not dying. So.
Yeah, no, but I'm not dying. But like, you know, but I still live, and living through difficult times, it's about trusting God, right? So it depends on what it is that I'm going through, but I trust that God will provide for me. I trust that He will put a roof over my head, and He'll put food in my stomach. I trust that. I trust that He will meet my every need. So in that sense, whatever it is that I'm going through isn't going to last long, or if it is, I have the means to sustain myself through that. And that is my hope in Christ. That is my hope in God. And that is the thing that I live and breathe at the very, very end. So life can stretch me, and if it does, then Jesus is holding me in that stretch. If it stretches me to the point of breaking, well, I'm going to heaven. Like, essentially, that's it. Bottom line.
Yeah, if this was like a church, I'd have said right on, Pastor. Yeah. So guys, to the last question, this is about legacy. What kind of impact do you hope your life has on other women? So you could just like.
I really wish you had prepped us for this. It's like really good questions, but to think of off the cuff.
Yeah.
No, it's more natural. It's like who you are as a person.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think you go first.
Girl, my gosh. Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
I could repeat it like
Thanks.
more times.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you hope your life has on other women?
Can you go one more time?
All right, Catherine.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you hope your life has on other women?
Thank you. I would hope that my impact on women would be that they would know that they're not alone, that Christ is with them, that they feel empowered to carry out the calling that God has on their life, and that they feel beautiful in themselves by what they may wear, by what they may do, that they feel like fearfully and wonderfully made. And with that, I pray and hope that they would see the value of themselves, their fertility, their gifts of life, and protect unborn babies if they're desiring to be a mother, and to help other women who have been hurt. And so maybe it's a long answer, but I would hope that my legacy inspires other women in those ways, not just in one way. But that's what I stood for, that's what I stand for currently, and what I'm trying to build. It's not me, like I should decrease, Christ increase. So don't look to me even, just look to Christ.
Amazing answer. It's good. Rachel, before
say the question again, please.
It's so hard.
what kind of impact do you hope your life has on other women? Mine for men would be that they have the ability to dream.
To dream.
Yeah, and know that there is no mountain too high for them to climb or no summit too low for them to reach. That all things are really possible.
That's good.
That is good.
I hope that my legacy will be that that I would be someone who inspires women to find their strength through strength training. And I will build my castle on that hill. I mean, I have seen it, and actually, I know I've already been doing that because I've seen the impact that my passion and my work has had on other women. And I know the power that exercise and training has. And I say strength training specifically because I'm not just talking about general exercise, going for a walk. I mean like lifting weights. It is incredibly empowering. And time again, I see women and girls underestimate their strength for all sorts of reasons. But the moment that they do discover that they could do that, it is next level. And see, when a woman has that understanding of who she is and her strength, the person that she goes into the world to become is totally different. Who she is in relationships is different because you can't mess with me. I know my strength. The person who she is in the workplace is different.
Yeah.
The person who she is as a mother is different. The person who she is as a friend is different. Simply because she knows her strength. And you develop that knowledge of this is how strong I am by shifting heavy weights. It is like magic. It is time and time again. Will show you what you're capable of. So yes, exercise, do it, but strength train. And if I were to die and people would only remember me for this, then let it be this.
Whoa, Pastor. Yeah,
I'm gonna put down my muffins and crisps.
There you go.
Or lift, no, I will lift.
Lift
Never lift them
something.
again. I'm gonna say that.
Yes.
Lift weight.
Yeah, do it both. I'm not a nutritionist. Eat whatever you want, so just lift.
Yeah.
Lift weights.
Just
man.
live, boss.
Lift.
You know, one day I was at the gym, then I wasn't doing something well. I don't know, like, I'm like, you're not my coach, you know. She just walked up to me, she's like, bro, you're not doing it well. I'm like, Rachel, I want to do it the way I want to do it. She said no. Then she's like, oh, this is the right form to do it. I'm like, oh no, I'm tall. You didn't even consider that. She's like, yeah, even if you like you're tall, I'm like, you're making it. I'm like, Rachel. Yeah, so it's like a passion just goes beyond like just talking. I've seen it in real life. But yeah, it's good stuff. So guys, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this.
us.
And happy International Women's Day. Thank you guys.
Women, we rock.